Welcome to the Cemetery Gates podcast, featuring Xander Kane and Android Virus. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cemetery Gates podcast. It is me, the Android Virus, joined by my illustrious co-host, Mr. Xander Kane. How you doing, sir?
Hey, it's me, and we're back from what feels like a post 31 days of horror break.
Well, shit's been going on, bro.
Yeah, it has. I got a new job and stuff and other things, and
You got like 2 new jobs, you told me, kind of.
yeah, I write for the music magazine now in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and then my new 9-to-5er.
Good for you.
Yeah,
You're a hardworking man, sir. It never ends.
never.
It never ends. I've
Just thankless.
still at the same job, which is good. And yeah, I've been watching a lot of movies with the wife. But yeah, we've been on I don't know, it's not like it's not even a forced hiatus type of thing. It's like, oh, we're taking a break. It's just hit and miss,
Yeah.
hit and miss, hit and miss, you know?
Every time we try to record, it's like,
Can't do it tonight. Someone's
can't do
sick.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's good to record with you. We actually watched these movies about a month ago. We had to revisit them because I think we both kind of forgot about them.
Well, they kind of blend together is the problem. That
Yes.
was my thing. Like, I could talk about them, but I wouldn't have been able to decipher the two until now.
Yes.
Which I think this is the first time in Cemetery Gates podcast history where we actually, like, watched. Because there's been times where we've picked movies, watched them, and didn't record, and the movies just kind of never came on the show. I think this is the first time we actually took a break this long and stuck with the original movies that we were going to do. So
Right. Well, so there's a few movies that I kind of wanted to throw out there that I had been wanting to talk about. One kind of horror-esque, the other one was kind of horror-esque, but not, I don't know. But before we get to our films, first of all, you did not pick a porno tonight.
it's not.
No, these were your films. These were your picks. I said, pick away, sir.
Choo.
So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, man, I wanted to talk about a couple movies that I watched that really kind of had an impression on me. One good, one kind of not good, but and also just kind of some stuff I'm looking forward to coming out. I don't know. Did you see The Black Phone yet?
I did not see The Black Phone yet. Is it even out yet?
I'm not sure. No, that's June 24th. So sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
No, I want to see it for
Yeah.
sure. It's definitely on the radar.
Yeah. Can't wait for the Munsters.
Yeah, I like the fact that it just kind of looks and feels like the Munsters,
Yeah.
except it's in color.
Yeah.
So I was cool with
In
that.
living color.
Yeah, I was cool with that. So
Right. Yeah, I kind of came on my radar that there's some like kind of remakes coming out and some sequels, which I'm really excited about. We got, I don't know if you're aware of this, but in September, we got another Salem's Lot remake.
yeah,
So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. Stephen King always goes through the remake mill, right? A lot of his movies.
yeah. I mean, just keep taking checks, man. I guess, right? He's still got
Right.
some royalties.
Yeah, exactly. And then we got a Hocus Pocus 2 coming out.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I'm okay with that one coming out. I enjoyed the first one.
I never saw the first. I know.
Now your kids are like too old to watch it with your kids. Your kids will be like, this is stupid.
Right. I know that Evil Dead Rise is coming out. That's cool.
Could care less.
I love, well, you know what? I fucking love the remake.
That's why I love the remake over all the other ones. So not
Did
that I
you?
don't like enjoy the others, but like
Yeah. Yeah. And I do want to thank you for something, sir.
ooh,
And
cool. You're welcome.
and I'm going to give you massive, major, huge kudos.
Ooh.
And I'm also going to give a shout out.
Uh oh.
Okay, don't don't owe me, sir.
Uh oh.
Um, yes, I'm going to give you an awesome shout out. And you had thrown it on my radar because sometimes I'm out of the loop with a lot of things. I'm a busy family man. I got a lot of shit going on. But you had told me that Vinegar Syndrome Roadshow was going to be here in Albuquerque.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And with that being said, um, I went, right?
Nice.
Yeah, and I dropped some money, some cash on some movies. One of our long ago review movies, The Severed Arm. Um,
Nice.
like The Severed Arm. I also dropped money on I love obviously I love my sword and sorcery movies. So dropped I got the Beastmaster. I bought Madman. What the fuck's um what's the other one with Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams that we watched?
Dead Heat.
Yes, Dead Heat. I do want to say it was at a local place that a local theater that just does these types. It's a very small theater, like literally the lobby is as big as my bedroom, and
Yeah.
the theater is not that big as well. But they make it work. It has a really old school vibe to it. But I met her name is Teresa Micardo. And she goes by scream.screen on the Instagram. So go follow her. She works for Vinegar Syndrome. And she was such a treat, such a doll, an amazing, awesome person. Gave her some of my swag, so some of my Android Vision swag. I didn't have any Cemetery Gate shirts to give her, but she messaged me, and it's always fun to meet people who are in the know of horror. Really cool chick, and I just wanted to give her really awesome, lovely person. So just wanted to give her a shout out. And
Nice.
go follow her and Vinegar Syndrome and all them, and keep doing the Lord's work. I say, Teresa, keep doing the Lord's work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, a couple movies that I saw. Mr. Xander Kane was which impressed the shit out of me was The Northman.
Nice.
Loved it. I don't know, it's not really horror, but whatever.
No. It's like a fantasy.
Yeah, did you watch it?
No, not yet. I'll probably watch it this weekend since I'll be kind of stuck at home doing nothing. So
Taking care of the wifey poo,
yeah.
getting her some soup. Um,
Some dick soup.
oh
Oh.
man. And then
Just kidding.
I watched and we I know that you didn't. I don't know if you watched it or didn't rewatch it or whatever, but fucking Morbius.
I didn't rewatch it, but I did go to the theater and see it. So
I I kind of liked it, man. I mean,
I
shit.
liked it. I didn't. I didn't. Here's my thing. I don't. I didn't love it.
No,
Like if we were rating it on our show, I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
right?
I thought it was enjoyable. I loved Matt Smith and Jared Leto together.
Hmm.
Even though some of the dialogue was kind of meh, but still, I think their chemistry on screen was amazing. It was good. To me, it felt really rushed
Hmm.
towards the end to like force it into the Marvel universe, which I
Yeah,
hated.
the
Um,
tropes.
yeah, and all the tropes I didn't like, but man, I was entertained by it. It didn't overrun at all. I would have gladly watched another movie of just Morbius before it delves in and blends into the MCU completely.
Yeah,
Um, so you know,
it had a strange like Blade vibe, but like Blade light because the Blade movies were hard R's, right? And
oh yeah,
so
for sure.
when Marvel got back into the game after putting out their canon when they after canon went out of business and their deals dried up, Marvel's
Yeah,
like, damn, we'll sell off some of our lot to Sony and Fox, which is what they did. And then they're like, Blade made them the money, man, and they were able to open up their Marvel Studios, and here we are today. They own the world, right?
Yeah.
Or are they owned by Disney yet? I'm not sure. Are they? Aren't they? I don't know.
Who knows?
Everybody's owned by Disney, including
Yeah,
you and
like
me, but we don't even know it.
that's right. Yeah, I think this is just going to be the forever problem with anything in the Marvel comics world that wants to, the further out we get and the lesser known characters that they try to introduce, I think we're just going to get a bunch of subpar movies because the hand is always forced to make it fit into the MCU.
Yeah, and I don't like.
Like, I wish this would just be. Can we just have fucking Morbius series?
Yeah,
That would be cool. I don't give a fuck if it ties into fucking Spider-Man.
no, no.
Like,
I mean,
really could give two shits.
I know they all meet up and fight and make out and do what they got to do, but actually, I, I mean, like, I kind of for the same reason as you. I mean, I did like it okay. Like, I thought his powers were really cool. I liked how they used like the bat sonar type of stuff, and
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty
and
decent. I
some of
thought,
the effects were good. Some pretty
yes,
solid.
they were rather enjoyable. I did not hate it. I didn't,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
I I would say it's above average Marvel movie for my liking, but whatever.
I'm about done with them because I'm a big MCU guy. But more and more they're starting to introduce these like side younger. I mean I see where they're going, right? They're going for the younger audience.
Yeah,
So it's like every time they're putting out a new show, they're introducing like a new young teen superhero with powers, and it's like, okay, got it. I'm not your demographic no more, which is fine. I'm okay with wrapping up my Marvel MCU love with, well, I'll go see Thor and oh yeah, Multiverse of Madness. I saw that as well, which was
yeah.
I enjoyed it. I don't know if you watched it.
I didn't get to see that one yet because I was gonna go and I was like, oh, it's gonna come to HBO Max or whatever.
What,
Disney
like
Plus. I mean Disney
next
Plus. Yeah,
next week or something?
yeah,
Great movie. Won't spoil it. It was a lot of fun. It's a Sam Raimi movie through and through, and they really had the balls to do some stuff like in the last act. The last act of the film, which was really dark, and I'm surprised that hey, they got it through. But it was really cool, and it's probably the closest thing we'll ever get to any type of Marvel zombies, other than their animated shit. But
yeah.
wasn't bad. We really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Oh, a Top Gun, but this is a horror show, so we're not going to talk about Top Gun.
Let's not talk about Top Gun.
And you, sir? I mean, it's been a while. I know you watched a million and one things. What stands out?
Oh yeah, man. I've watched a shitload of things. So the biggest thing, I think Virus 32 I really enjoyed on Shudder. I watched that Monstrous with Christina Ricci. Did not like. Did not like it all.
Ooh,
And then I've been just finished Stranger Things
okay.
and all its long ass episodes, which I really enjoyed.
Ooh, yeah.
To me, thus far, the best season. So take that with what you will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then the most notable thing that I watched is Uzumaki,
Okay.
which translates to Spiral. It's a 2000 Japanese film, and it's about a guy who becomes obsessed with spiral shaped things, right?
No.
Like he keeps like collecting spiral things, and he's like kind of loses his mind. And the whole movie, this whole town kind of becomes obsessed with it, and they all kind of you find out it's kind of like otherworldly, this spiral thing and this obsession, and there's like a reason behind all of it, and like has all these really cool like subtle edits in the screen, like little spirals in the background, like in the water you'll see like just in random shots. um but that was really cool. It was a really cool weird fucking movie.
Uzumaki.
uh yeah, I really enjoyed it. So if anybody that likes J-horror and hadn't seen that one, it's cool as fuck. Really cool.
I need to check it out. How new? How old is it?
2000.
Okay.
And it's on Amazon Prime, but highly recommended. Weird little flick. Yeah, really, really, really dug it. Really dug it. And that's about it, man. I watched another bunch of other stuff. Most of it was shit. So
Nothing memorable.
nah.
Um,
I,
I,
I
I
did.
was gonna go ahead. Sorry.
I did watch Trucks from 1997. That was kind of fun.
There's a lot of. I mean, obviously, this is
It's
gonna
terrible
happen.
but fun.
Terrible. But yeah, there's every like we would say like maybe 10, 5, 10, 7 years ago. Like it there's a huge resurgence for like 80s horror, right? And the love for 80s horror, and there's a lot of people who are falling in love with 80s horror. You see a lot of, I'm gonna call them e-girls, right? Like on Instagram, e-horror girls that like they love the allure of horror, but it's and which is great, which is fine. They love the aesthetic of it and they love the way it looks, and they're sporting their Chucky gear or whatever gear. But then it's also really cool to see these people really delve in deep to what the fuck, so I've been on this weird kick of watching a lot of react videos, and I'm watching like a lot of these millennials um discover sleepaway camp for the first time, or or the thing for the first time. And I like that. I like, 'cause I'm a watcher, man, and I just
Well,
maybe.
it's cool to see a genuine reaction because it brings back like what you remember when you watched it the first time. You're like, oh god, yeah.
Right, like there's a couple. I don't remember their names, but they watch Sleepaway Camp, and they're like, "Y'all weird 1983. Like, what the fuck? Like, dudes just take their underwear off and jump in the lake, like 15 of them, and just to tease girls, like, there's just the language, and I mean, the whole damn movie's a Me Too movie, right? And it's just like completely, and then the end, obviously sleepaway camp, and then they're just like, what the fuck did we just watch? And it's just funny, like I said, just to see these reactions on these people, and then for them to like watch The Thing, and which is my all-time favorite horror movie, and that's a good one too, and it's yeah, it's just great, and I'm glad that these people are, it's like a new generation of finding this stuff, but
Yeah, no, it's I totally get it because I don't watch like every video they put out, but there's this couple from I can't remember where the fuck they're from. Uh, they're from somewhere overseas, but they are like they're not familiar with like metal music at all, or at least they
mhm,
weren't. Now they are. They
right.
were like into hip hop and stuff. Like that was the scene they grew up on and they liked, and for whatever reasons, it's a husband and wife, and now they started listening to metal music, and they give you like reactions, and you get like their reaction to like Stormtrooper from fucking Iron Maiden, and then they'll do like System of a Down, and then they'll do like Rammstein and all this other shit. And they're like,
Mhm.
holy fuck! And it's cool to watch them like pause and talk about stuff,
Sure.
and because he's like, oh wow, this is really intense. I didn't expect that. Like, and then they'll pick it back up, and then like you just get their reactions from it, which is kind of cool.
Right. It's the same. Like there's some couples that I follow, even certain individuals that are discovering things for the first time, right? Whether it be metal, whether it be this, whether it be that. There's one chick that I follow, and I'll give her a shout out. She's the charismatic voice, and she's an opera singer, and she's a vocal coach and everything, right? I mean, she really delves in deep to the actual, like, she knows every single muscle name of the muscles in your throat and your nasal passages in your face, you know what I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
the bones and all these things. She's like, oh, they're using this freaking type of bone and this type of thing to make the sound, and da 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 da. But I literally have been watching this chick for about 2 years, and I've seen her turn into a metalhead in the past 2 years. I saw it happen. I saw the
Nice.
metamorphosis. She's like, my favorite singer's Dio. He's just my favorite singer now. It's like, wow, that's fucking cool. Like, she's got a metalhead just creeping out of her. It's just, and you can tell she's a prim and proper,
Yeah.
you know, she's very pretty, but like this prim and proper opera singer, and like high level opera singer.
Right.
and she's a fucking total metalhead now. It's like you get it because opera and metal, there's something there, that mixes together. So,
Yeah.
but let's get on with the show, sir. We got
Let's
your
do it.
picks, and you did some really cool picks.
Yeah.
And you told me, hey, bro, you got to watch these. You got to watch these on Arrow streaming because they're coming down, but they haven't came down yet. So
Not yet. I think they come down at the end of this month, but
yeah. So go ahead and have at it. Let us know what we're watching.
boom. Are we having a trailer this time around?
Well, let's do a trailer. Yeah, let's do that. We haven't done that in a while. Let's listen to the trailer for 1989's Killer Crocodile, and we'll be right back.
You're gonna hunt it down and kill it, aren't you?
Sure, we're gonna kill it, aren't we, Joe?
You bet, Judge. Consider it already dead.
No!
No, what?
We're against killing of any kind. Our work here's important. Someone's polluting these swamps, and it's our job to find out who.
I'm not surprised. Take a look at this. The dyes reveal high acid levels caused by industrial waste.
Kevin, watch out! He's behind you! Kevin! Kevin! Kevin!
You still think the crocodile should be saved?
If I get the chance, I won't hesitate to kill it.
It takes a special breed to make it in there.
All right, so that was the trailer for Killer Crocodile from 1989. Let her rip, sir.
All right, yeah. So Killer Crocodile is technically an Italian film, filmed in the Dominican Republic, I do believe, is what I read. And initially, it's just about a group of environmentalists that go to this like tropical area where they think waste is being dumped into the water. And so they're sent off to like kind of investigate what's going on over there and, just figure shit out. But obviously, if there's dumping toxic shit in there, we all know what we're going to get. And that's a giant fucking mutated animal, right?
Yeah, nothing terribly original here.
No, but at the very beginning of the flick, it's like it just kind of sets the tone for like what you're in for. Like it's just you get like a random shot of this giant ass crocodile like in the water going around, and there's like this douchebag guy up on the water like trying to serenade this girl with his guitar.
Oh yeah.
And she basically finally has enough of his shit. She's like, fuck this, and she goes swimming, and of course she gets eaten, and he's just still playing the guitar up on the shoulder.
Yeah, she has a funny line in the beginning of it of like, I hate the swimming suit. It's really hard to get back in after I get naked or something like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
something silly. I mean, and it's your typical. You could tell that it's originally filmed in the Italian language, but then
Yeah.
dubbed by probably the same 10 voice actors
Yeah.
that they get.
But
For
it
these
wasn't
types
as
of movies.
it wasn't as egregious as some of the 70s stuff though.
Sure. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you can barely tell, honestly, in most cases.
Can,
But yeah.
can we say really quick who it stars?
Oh yeah, shit! I didn't even do that.
Just the main. I don't care about everybody else, but the main guy. It stars Richard Anthony Crenna, the son of Richard Crenna.
Oh really?
It's the blonde dude with the beard, the hero.
Yeah.
That's John. That's Richard Crenna's son. He's
He's
an
he's
Italian heartthrob.
He's also a paramedic in Predator 2.
Was he? Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't-
That's kind
didn't-
of funny.
Yeah. Well, maybe yeah. These killer crocodiles didn't bode well for his career.
Definitely not. Yeah. So we get lots of like I said, there's lots of kind of silly, funny moments that I don't necessarily think are intentional. Like they send one of the guys down to go swimming in the water, so he puts this giant radioactive suit on, and there's like a really silly camera shot of like the lens of the goggles over the camera, and he's just like nodding his head. And they're like, "All right, Bob, get down there, but don't stay down there too long, Bob." He's like, "Rrr." It's just like it just comes off so silly and so fucking stupid, but it's really funny to me. And then we get a giant kill from eventually we see the alligator again. You get a really cool kill shot with like an open mouth camera kill shot, like with it coming up out of the water and like
Right.
it's the teeth comes up and it's all going in, and it smashes some. It's always smashing a lot of docks in this movie. This crocodile
Loves it.
it's very
His favorite thing to
angry,
do.
very angry at it. And then we also get to meet the shady rich guy that you pretty sure has something to do with all the radioactivity. I call him the poor man's Marlon Brando. It's kind of reminded me of Brando and Island of Dr. Moreau a little bit.
Yeah.
But later you do find out that he actually is kind of shady, and he tells some dude, some other random dude, he's like, "Hey, quit dumping waste in the water. These people are onto something," you know. So these kids kind of confront him, and he's kind of a shit to them, and they wind up meeting up with this other guy named Joe, who's kind of like the local, I don't know, what would you call Joe? The local loner that's badass, I guess. Fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like the local like hunter, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in your typical hunter garb.
Right, yeah. And then the main guy from the scientist group of people, he's like, "Hey, let's get with this guy." So they offer to buy him a beer, and he's like, "Oh, sure, fuck yeah, I'll drink a beer with you." So they start like buddying up, and as they're like doing all that, well, there's a crocodile attack, and it comes and wrecks this dock. And the thing about this movie is, man, they fucking eat kids all day with this crocodile. They eat kids, they eat nuns. There's no fucking mercy for this crocodile.
He's a big boy too.
Yeah, it's so huge. Like it's the size of a fucking goddamn. I don't know. It's the size of a fucking Jetta. The goddamn.
Yeah.
It's so fucking massive. It looks really cool. Note, like it does look really fucking cool. It's a really cool giant like animatronic head they have on this thing, and like fuck Bruce from Jaws. I like this fucking crocodile. This thing's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is so fucking cool.
Yeah, the prosthetics, like it's like it doesn't look real,
Yeah.
right, by any means. But it's so menacing looking. It's just funny, you know, like
Yeah. Its
it's not
eyes
awful.
funny. Its
Yeah,
eye is weird looking. But like
Yeah.
the scales and stuff look pretty cool. But I will give this movie kudos because even though, like I was saying, it does have some unintentionally funny stuff. Like this in this particular scene, like when this attack happens, like all the villagers are like on the shore, like screaming and crying and like trying, they don't know what to do as they're watching people go in and try to save this kid that's like the last kid that's not eaten, that's hanging on the last piece of the dock. And, a villager goes out there and tries to save him. And obviously he dies.
He
But
falls.
it does a good job of like kind of painting the actual like terror, like, that if you lived
Yeah.
in that area, like that's fucking terrifying to see a crocodile that size in your backyard, essentially, right? This is where you live. You use that water to cook. You bathe it, like that is right, right by where you live. So I thought they did a really great job of making that seem like just really intense. So I was like,
I'll
oh,
tell you what, these people of the Dominican Republic really earned their pay. They acted their asses off with fear.
they did that.
It was very believable. Like
Yeah,
that poor little girl hanging off the side of the freaking
just
dock.
screaming.
And let's talk about like how many people actually just kind of fell in the mouth of the crocodile. He's just hanging out in the water. Da da da
Yeah.
da da. Just opens up his mouth and
Ah!
they just fall in.
Is that where I left my car keys?
Oh, that's
So
where you left them.
yeah. So that attack's really cool. We get another really cool attack later at nighttime. That's a pretty cool watch. But it's not quite as long as that drawn out scene. But it is very cool. And then the rest of the movie, Joe is trying to go and they're just trying to figure out ways to get this crocodile now. Now they're really pissed because it took out so many members of the community. So there's basically like a Joe and them come up with a plan to try to get it. And then you get the shady Marlon Brando gets in a fight with a dude in the waist trunk, and then he falls off, and the other dude gets fucking killed by the croc in the glorious fashion. And then all his fucking like his head explodes or some shit. Or no, all the not his head, the fucking radioactive stuff is him and the old guy are kind of fighting over it. And then I'm not going to spoil the end because I think it's fucking super awesome, and it becomes Joe and the scientist guys wind up back there for like the one final battle. And it's pretty fucking epic and ridiculous and a damn good time. There's God, what does John say? It's right before this particular hunt. John says something to the effect, he's like, oh, crocodiles get really mad when you insult them. You're like, what the fuck? Is that really just the line in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that, there's nothing. It's a very short movie. What is it, like 80 minutes?
Yeah, it doesn't have
Yeah.
a very long, and it's cool because it's shot on 35 millimeter, and you can kind of tell, but they make it really good.
Yeah, and this and Killer Crocodile 2, which we'll talk about next, were shot at the same time.
They were.
The exact same time in the Dominican Republic, the whole nine.
Let's
recycle some shots.
Yeah. but let's talk about how our main guy, Kevin, Mr. Krenna's son,
Yeah.
he how he kills the crocodile in this one. It's really funny because obviously it happens, right? It's okay. We're spoilers. He throws.
Well, I wasn't gonna spoil it, but you can spoil it.
Let's spoil it. It don't matter.
Okay.
On this one, because they're just so epic, right? Slow motion shots.
Yeah.
Is all his buddy, right? The hunter.
Joe. Yeah.
Joe's like, do it now, and he has like the end of the boat, the motor, right,
Yeah.
with the paddle or with the blade, and he throws it in the crocodile's mouth.
Yeah. He's like, make him choke on that son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch. Yeah. And that old man, that son of a bitch. Only old men know how to say son of a bitch good. And yeah, it doesn't end like, it's almost like that they found some real entrails, but it's just like
Yeah.
just grinding the shit out of this fucking thing's throat.
Right. Yeah. It's fucking cool.
That's really yeah, and just blood's getting sprayed like out of a Guar concert, like.
Yeah, totally obnoxious. It's awesome. Yeah, this is definitely a pleasant surprise. Honestly, I've heard of the movie, and I'm sure I've heard some people talk about it, but not really a ton of people chat about it too much. But I think it's a damn good time. What do you rate this flick?
I gave it a 3 out of 5. Super low budget. Couple lulls in there for me. But it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's pretty fun. The dubbing, it really puts an allure on there for me, which I really
Yeah.
like. I love
Little
I
shot
love
of
it.
nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I mean, obviously very egregious dubbing in the 70s zombie films and your cannibal films, right, from Italy. It's nice to see some of that style type of dubbing in the late 80s, early 90s, And obviously that's a long time ago as well, but you know, still, I mean, obviously 30 years ago, it's 30 some years ago, but I thought it was cool. So I like that, but I think I'll give this movie 3 out of 5, but I think this is a good segue into its sequel that was filmed back to back, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the trailer for this, Killer
Wait,
Crocodile. Well, go
hey,
ahead. Go, no. My bad.
hold them brakes.
I stepped on you. I'm
You
sorry.
did step on it. You stepped on my dick.
So big, sir. Sorry, I couldn't miss it.
No. I was just gonna say that I love the shit about it. It's a 4 out of 5 for me. I think it's great. I think it's damn good. And I will watch it again probably before the end of the year. Loved it.
It's a fun summer flick.
Yeah. Anyways, carry on, sir.
Carry on. Let's play the trailer for Killer Crocodile Part 2, and I'll take the reins on this one. We'll be right back.
I got a special story to cover, and I got a plane to catch. The Caribbean ought to be just gorgeous this time of year.
Giving a press conference today to announce the beginning of construction. Right at this moment, the last barrel containing toxic waste has reached the port.
Mr. Baxter, does this include the radioactive barrels? I asked you a question.
Yes, all the barrels and all the harmful things they contain have been removed.
I saw it. It's the biggest crocodile with the biggest mouth. I tell you like that.
Weren't you the guy that, once upon a time, protected animals?
That crocodile destroyed my life. Every night since then. Wake up in the middle of the night screaming.
So, you've come to drive out your fears.
If there really is a crocodile, help me hunt it down. You think we'll make it this time, Joe?
If that crocodile really exists, it's gonna be tough.
It exists, and it knows we're here.
There just aren't any more like that one. It was the only one.
All right, guys, there is the trailer for Killer Crocodile Part 2. And you pretty much get the same thing, right? You get
a recap.
a recap of what happens in the beginning, like it was released a year later. This one clocks in at 127 minutes, and obviously back in the Caribbean, but it was filmed in the Dominican Republic. They're being terrorized again by a second crocodile, which we saw being born at the end of the first one, right?
Yeah. So what should be noted is that even though these were filmed at the same time, they have two different directors.
Yes.
And this director did the makeup for Zombie.
And he did the makeup for Killer Crocodile 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took the directing reins. And you could see a difference a little bit. There's some pacing issues in this one, I think.
A little more, yeah.
Yeah, a little some pacing issues. So in this one, we have the
hero.
The hero. Well, we don't get introduced to the hero later on in the movie. They're our team. We don't get introduced to our team later on in the movie. Yeah. But what happens is the let me just talk to you about first. The Jaws score is shamelessly ripped off in this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe even the first one. I don't remember. kind of blend together.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same on the first one.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Vanilla Ice did to Queen. It's like you hear dun 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 ding ding. See, you hear that? It's not the same. You know, it's the
They
same
just
thing,
add a
right?
crocodile roar in the back.
Right, right. And crocodiles don't roar like this. I don't think. It sounded like a lion. You notice that? Rawr.
So
So,
it's a water lion. It's a
yes,
water lion.
he's a water lion. But yeah. So in this one, you get a little bit more of the espionage, like corporate greed. Um,
Yeah, it's kind of like a little black backstory on like, hey, why did all this toxic stuff happen? Oh wait,
yeah, and you get another shady business guy. He gets killed at the beginning of the movie by other shady business guys doing shady business deals down there, and then we introduce a lovely female reporter in this.
yes,
She's going down there to do some journalism and really expose these people. And I looked her up because I thought she was very pretty, and she did this movie, and she's now a real estate agent. I'm just letting you guys know. So that's it. So she walked around in this. She's not Italian. She's American. She walked around in this movie with a wet T-shirt and no bra a lot in this movie.
yeah, very very Dario Argento inspired there.
Very cold. Seemed like the water might have been cold. Um, but with that being said, so we get her. Well, we first get some guys. He's like, "I seen the biggest crocodile. Shut up! I seen the biggest crocodile I've ever seen. Shut up!" They're just making fun of him, and that was a good one. The crocodile goes into the cabin and tip,
Wrecks the fucking. It literally looks like a goddamn truck drives into the side of the fucking.
yeah,
it
it's like, what the
it comes barreling through this fucking cabin so hard.
and it's so hot. Like the actors, you can tell they're so hot and sweaty, like just
Yeah.
kicking it, bro, with no shirts on, like just like fuck, it's hot. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean at night.
Yeah, it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre hot out there.
Yeah, they're just like fuck. But yeah, the crocodile makes haste of those three guys, which is really funny because we have another scene where he kind of tips the house like we would have like a small the cabin like the small box of cereal that I buy my
Yeah.
kids. There's like da 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 da. They just pour it in their mouth. So that's what the crocodile pretty much does with these guys. He just kind of tips it back and they just go pour it into his mouth. So I guess this is the son of the old crocodile that they killed.
Well, at the end of the first one, we do get to see an
Yeah.
egg.
Yeah, it's the offspring. But yeah, and at the beginning of this we get to see attack a boat with a nun on it and kids. That's another good one. And by the way, they used the same crocodile.
Yeah.
They didn't remake another one. And at the end of this movie as well, it's the same. They actually decide to explode it. So it's kind of like the same. Yeah, it's funny. So I knew that I don't think there'd be a part 3, but not until well into the movie do we get to see our actors from the first one who are like, it's back. No, it's not. The old man Joe and Richard Crenna's son.
Yeah.
Like, we got to go kill it this time. Yeah, we got to go kill. It's back. No,
Once and
it's
for all.
Once and for all. And then we have the girl, this is funny. This is like your typical Italian shit, right? The girl is renting a boat, a la fucking Deliverance, right? Like she
But
fucking
wasn't she supposed to meet Kevin for some reason? And Kevin
yeah,
couldn't find her?
to tell the story, yeah. And
Oh, that's right.
Kevin couldn't find her, and then so Kevin's on the look for her, and she, but so she rents a boat from this guy, a local, who this is a funny scene. I'm not making fun of sexual assault or rape, trust me, but she's sitting in the boat, and this gentleman that's taking her for a boat ride just stands up in front of her face and just unzips her pants, and then unzips his pants. She's all, really? I'm from New York. You got to have something more to scare me from that. And she pulls out a switchblade and like swipes at him, and he falls in the water. And she's like kind of laughing at him or whatever, like like she thwarted a sexual assault, right? But like she's a tough chick, tough New York broad, and then the crocodile comes down the river, and he's like, "Oh, help me!" And she's desperately trying to get him back in the boat. And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, this dude almost just fucking raped you, and you're like saving his life. Like, okay, I mean, crazier things have happened." But he gets the would-be fucking rapist gets fucking killed by the crocodile, and she's traumatized by that, and she spends some time walking through the forest like Kathy, what's her name from Romancing the Stone, with her dress on. Not dressed for the fucking jungle by any means, wearing high heels and a skirt.
Yeah, it's just walking around kind of like a lost puppy. Like she's kind of wandering and just
Kevin
traipsing
saves her,
through.
and they make love. They make some sweet love.
They do.
They do. They make their sweet love. And then, more of the same.
Yeah.
People get killed off and more of the same. But in this
yeah,
one,
then Joe and him are back on their journey to try to catch this thing. But on this one, we get another scene where some kids get eaten in the water, and some
again,
nuns, and
yes,
some nuns. A couple
this
nuns
is
go
true.
down this time.
Yes, this time they're not shy of killing nuns and kids.
Yeah, I thought at that scene, I was like, oh man, they're killing kids and nuns. I was like, you could kind of consider this an exploitation
Yeah, well,
on certain elements, just because of the kid death and all that,
Rewind to the beginning of the movie. They're sailing on their surfboards, whatever that's called. I forget what that sport's called.
Yeah.
And the very beginning, you have the chick who's like there, and she gets eaten, right? So again, fucking another girl and her boyfriend, right? The chick gets eaten. Anyways, fast forward. Joe bites it in this one. He succumbed to. They do another battle, and he
A
succumbs.
very, very good sell of dying in the water, I might add. Like he's got blood coming out of the back of his head. He's like giving his dying speech, and he truly, I'm not kidding, like he truly slowly loses his breath in his body. He turns over and rolls over face down into the water and floats away. I was like, that's pretty believable.
Does it?
Fucking nailed it.
Nailed that shit. And then but in this one, this is really funny. Okay, in this one, guys, Kevin, he decides to jump off the pier, and he straddles the top of the crocodile's head. And if you cut away, like it's a toy and an action figure. I don't know if you notice that. That's what's really funny. And then he freaking catches a freaking dynamite, a la freaking Lawrence Taylor, whoever football player you want to fucking put in there. Catches the
Lawrence
fucking
Taylor was a defensive player. So
I don't know. I'm not a sports guy. Anyways, catches the dynamite left-handed, if you will, like the true pro that he is. I think he bites the igniter with his teeth, and as he's straddling the top of the crocodile's head, throws it in his mouth, and then the director had Richard Crenna's son jump off like the pier of the boat. That's what he filmed, right?
Right.
Jumps off sideways, and then kaboom! It blows up, and then it just took. It looks like just probably a couple of PAs or whoever just took some buckets of blood and just threw it into the water. Like that's exactly what it is. Buckets of blood. They just threw it in the water. Yeah. And there you have it. Yeah. And we don't really get a sequel, but
there you have Crocodile, Killer Crocodile, Dos.
I like this one just the same as the other. Gave it 3 out of 4.
Yeah, I give this one 3 out of 4. I didn't, or 3 out of 5. I mean, I didn't like it as much as the first one, just because recycled footage, step down and kills really, and overall this one is good, but it was still enjoyable as fuck. Great double feature.
Yeah, it is great double feature. Very enjoyable.
Excuse me.
But yeah, check it out. I'm sure you can get it on Blu-ray everywhere.
Yeah.
Arrow has it.
I think Vinegar Syndrome actually put it out.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
A 2 Blu-ray set, I think, is who put it out. But yeah. Oh, side note, what do you think is a new dashboard color and load-up screen for Arrow? I like the blue.
It looks really cool, man.
Yeah,
I like it. I checked out in the meantime, I did check out my old favorite the Prowler. I love the Prowler. Love it.
Me too.
It's a great
one. Maybe I'll watch that tonight.
Watch it. It's going off. Catch it before it leaves.
Is it?
But
I have it,
but yeah, guys, it's glad to be back in the saddle. It's good to be back in the saddle.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be nearly as long of a gap this time.
No.
So I
We'll
anticipate we'll be back in like 2 weeks probably.
Yeah, we'll try to deliver you some schlock here on the up and up. But come check us out. Thanks for listening to the Cemetery Gates podcast, guys.
Yeah.
And we'll be back soon. We love you.
Yes.
All
Hugs and
Hugs and
stuff.
kisses. Yes.
Stuff.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cemetery Gates podcast, featuring Android Virus and Xander Kane. Follow us on Twitter at Android Virus, at Xander_Kane, and at Cemetery Gates 66.